So, Michelle and Linda, I'm glad we got to present this to you, really based on the feedback we got at the Chamber event in Canada, in Regina a few weeks ago. Everyone just seemed to really love it. And we got so much good feedback that anytime we get to show this to other chambers that weren't there, we're just excited because we get to show you what this could do for your chamber, and not just your chamber, but also for your members as well. So I'm excited to show this to you. And generally what tends to work well is I have a few slides to show you, and it really just gives you a better idea of what OUTSTAND is. That way the demo makes more sense at the end. So I think that's the best way to go about it. So Mark, Michelle, Linda, any questions before we start that we can address?
No, not for me.
Okay. Well, great. So let's go ahead and get moving here. So I'll give you a quick 30-second summary of what OUTSTAND really is. It's a communication platform. So it allows salespeople, entrepreneurs, even CEOs, small business owners, it allows them to communicate with their clients, their prospects, their customers, even their friends and family in a very unique way. It allows them to stand out when they're trying to build that relationship or to follow up with customers or even just communicate things to their members. What most people are familiar with, there's two different types of email, and we're talking email here, but really we're not just an email platform. Like I said earlier, we're a communication platform, so there's a lot of ways to communicate with your members with OUTSTAND, but in general, email is the biggest way to communicate with your clients, and most people are familiar with the two main ones. The type 1 is the everyday email, the Gmail, the Outlook. You use it every day just to send out, daily communication. It's great because you can personalize it because it tends to go just to one or two people, so it's a very personalized message for that recipient. Email type 2 is that marketing and automation. It's the newsletters that you send out maybe once a month to your members and potential prospects. It's great because, as we know, it's visually enticing. There's graphics and then pictures, logos of your chamber, and it's trackable, so you know what kind of engagement you're getting. Do you guys send out newsletters on a monthly or bi-monthly basis?
Yeah, we actually do weekly.
Oh wow, you guys are go-getters. Well, that's great. So you know exactly what that's all about. And we obviously then know what we're talking about here, your everyday email and your newsletter. But what about when you need to send out these types of messages, when you need to engage new members, maybe that they just signed on, they just agreed to become part of your chamber, and you need to send them and engage them with content. Or if you need to set appointments or event reminders or after meeting follow-ups, conveying chamber benefits, call to action, staying in touch, making connections and getting referrals, getting other members to get new businesses into the chamber. You're not going to send out a newsletter for these things, maybe for an event of some kind, but in general you want to send these out when needed. So you don't want to wait till the end of the week or the end of the month to send out a general newsletter. You want to send out a very personal one-to-one or maybe a one-to-a-few type message that's customized for that appointment reminder or that new member or that call to action. And really there's no way to do that. Some people do use your Gmail or Outlook, and it would look like this. But unfortunately, if you use Gmail or Outlook for those types of messages, it can get lost in the bulk of mail. The average, at least C-level or high-level employee gets about 140 emails a day. A lot of that's junk, some of it's important, but when they all look the same, it's really hard to distinguish what you want to look at and what you want to read. So what OUTSTAND is, it's that third type of email. It allows you to follow up and build relationships by communicating in an outstanding way. So kind of how we got our name was, to be outstanding, you must stand out. And to stand out, you must be outstanding. So it's kind of a play on those two words there. So that's why we built the system, to allow you on a daily basis, not even a weekly basis. Having a weekly newsletter is very impressive. I actually never hear that. Most of the time it is monthly. So on a daily basis, being able to stand out from the rest of the clutter and get your messages seen by your recipients. So all of these types of messages can now be sent out using a platform like OUTSTAND that really combines the benefits of both the marketing automation type emails and the Gmail or Outlook type emails. So they're visually engaging, they're trackable, and they're meant to be sent out on a more of a one-to-one basis. Over 80% of our emails that are sent from our system are sent to 5 people or less. So we do have the capability of sending out the emails, or I'm sorry, the newsletters that you guys send out on a weekly basis. But that's not our bread and butter, But what we really focus on and what our main client base uses OUTSTAND for is to send out those one-to-one or one-to-a-few messages that are customized to the recipient. So Transamerica is our biggest client. They have over 10,000 financial advisors using our system, and they love it because they don't have to rely on their marketing department to send out cool emails with nice graphics. They can send the stuff themselves. So if they want to set an appointment, they can send out something like this, and they know when their recipient opened it. Here's a few other examples. I'm just going to kind of breeze through them just so you can get a visual idea of what kind of messages can be sent out. Instead of bugging someone if they haven't responded to your emails, just with a, hey, are you getting my messages, you can send, it's just something fun, what's up message. And again, if they're opening your messages, and if they're opening it and not responding, well, maybe it's time to move on. So it gives you a lot of marketing power, but more meant for the salesperson or the CEO that doesn't have that marketing department knowledge, doesn't have the marketing degree. They just want to communicate. So we really built the system to be easy to use, to send out messages just like these, send out the perfect message depending on the occasion. This is one of the CEOs of Transamerica. He loves it. He no longer needs the marketing department to send out his messages. He has his own account that he sends out for events, for follow-ups, or just to encourage his team. He sends out messages just like these on a weekly basis, multiple times a week. And again, he knows when people are opening it. He knows who's opening it. He knows if people are clicking the video or downloading the document that they're sending out. And there's just a few more examples I'll just breeze through real quick. And so these are the things that we really focus on. Ease of use. So what if this system was it was just as easy to send out a Gmail or Outlook? What if it was just as easy to send out these beautiful messages, but you get a totally different impression by sending out these types of emails? And it replaces fear with confidence. So instead of feeling like you're bugging people by sending out the same black and white email over and over again, not knowing if they open it, they're confident because now they know if they're opening it, and they can send them something fun and visually engaging. And what we're finding is that people are really loving to do this. Once you get started, they love. It's one of the things that they love to do every morning is, all right, who can I send these OUTSTAND emails to? And a lot of financial advisors, they actually keep it open on their computer 24/7. That way, as soon as they need to send a message, their OUTSTAND account is ready to go. And we even have a way to line up certain messages. So Legal Shield actually is another one of our big clients, and they have an engagement campaign, which I'll actually show you in one of the demos. A new member that signs up for a Legal Shield membership gets a list of 14 different email messages that go out over the course of the 12 months. And I'm actually going to show you what some of those look like. But once a month, and I think there's 2 months there that they get 2 messages, they get reminders about how they can use their membership, how they can get the most out of their membership, the value of the membership. That way, at the end of their 12-month membership, it's renewal is a no-brainer because they've most likely used it because they're being reminded to use it, and the value message is constantly being put in front of them. And so with a click of a button, they can actually send out an automated campaign of this kind. That is OUTSTAND in general, and I'll dive into the demo, but I want to go ahead and pause and allow you guys to ask any questions if you guys have any.
So this is primarily an email communication tool. Is that correct?
Yeah, so primarily is the key word there. We also allow people to text message using our iPhone app, and you can even text message if you have a computer software that, for instance, I have a Mac and I can text right through my Mac. So you can text out these messages as well. And then you'll see here these templates on the right-hand side. You can click these, and I'll go ahead and click one. This is a postcard. And so just as easy as it is to create a message, you upload your graphic, or you can browse our gallery. I'll just go ahead and a pleasure to meet you. And then you can type out your message here. And then you add your recipient, and you click checkout and send. And it's that easy to send out actual printed mail pieces because, honestly, that is one of the communication avenues that is really not being utilized anymore by salespeople, by small businesses. But it stands out. It stands out tremendously when you get something in the mail that's customized to you. So it allows you to do that as well. We offer 4 different templates, a big postcard and a mini postcard, and then also just your general greeting card and a mini greeting card. So any additional questions?
No.
All right. One of the questions that we tend to get, and let me ask you a question. What do you use to send out your newsletter?
We use Constant Contact.
Okay. So the biggest question that we tend to get when people look at OUTSTAND is, so is this just like Constant Contact, or how is it different than Constant Contact? Well, the main difference is what I communicated here in the slide here is, let me go ahead and just pull it up as I'm talking. So it's meant for that daily communication. You know, instead of sending out the black and white email, honestly, what we tell our users is to never send a black and white Gmail or Outlook message ever again, because it's just as easy to send it out from OUTSTAND, but it's trackable, it's visually engaging with graphics. It has your picture and your logo and all of your contact information beautifully created into a template. And I'll go ahead and pull up the message library here. Here we go. That way you can just see one of my messages here. So instead of, after our webinar, instead of me sending just a regular black and white email, I'm going to send something like this, and I'm going to know if you guys opened it, so that way I can follow up in a more efficient manner. So chambers love it because they can engage their members with content just like this. And actually, Mark and I are working on content, creating it for you. That way you guys don't have to create your own content. What we found is small businesses and salespeople tend to take the path of least resistance. Things that are easy to do and that can make a difference in their business, they'll do it. But if it's a little too hard, if it takes too much time, they're just not going to end up doing it. Well, one of the ways that we've made this OUTSTAND program even easier to use is by creating content for you. That way, with the click of a button, I don't know if you noticed what I did here. I just clicked on Message Library. Here's all my pre-created content. And then here's my categories on the left-hand side here if I need to. But all I click is Use, and my message is already created. And I can personalize it here. Obviously, I need to put, maybe change the place and the time for my specific recipient. But in general, it's already ready to go, and I just pick my recipient here, and I click Send. And then as soon as I click Send, let me go ahead and exit out of here. I'll click on Tracker. And Tracker shows, are these people opening it? So every single message that I send, I'll know if people are opening it, if they're clicking on the link. Here's a perfect example. I sent Mark a newsletter that we built out for a different chamber, the Manitoba Chamber. So I sent it to Mark, and I'll go ahead and click on Recipient. And this is only one person, but if there was, say, 300 people on this message, it would be outlined here, just in a list format. Mark opened my newsletter 24 times. I think he really liked my newsletter. And then he clicked on 2 links inside the newsletter. So you guys are probably familiar with this type of tracking with your newsletters. But the great thing is this same power is now available for just your daily emails that you send out to your members. This was an after chamber event follow-up. We sent this to every single chamber that we met at the event. So here you see a little moving graphic up there. Mark and I just had some fun there. We said that we had so much fun this weekend. We hope you did too. And we attached a video that they can watch. It was just a reminder of what OUTSTAND was, so they can click it and view it. And so this email was sent to each person that we met. And we actually know, and actually Mark sent it, so that's why it only shows one recipient. But we now know that out of the, Mark, how many people did we send that message to? Was it about 100 or so?
So there was 2 messages. One of them was for the people that actually gave us cards and met us at the booth, and the other one was attendees. So I think it was just under 100, and then the other one was about 300. There was about 400 people that attended that event.
That's right. Yep. So and then that's a perfect example. So after our meeting, after our event, we just wanted to send something fun that we could just get their attention and really show them the power of follow-up. So we sent them something like this, and again, it had the moving. This is the other email that we sent to the people that we didn't meet. So we wanted to have a little moving graphic up there with some imagery of the event, and we included the short video of what OUTSTAND is in case they missed it. So again, we would know if those 300 people that we didn't get a chance to meet in person, we'll know that if they opened the message, did they watch the little summary that we included, and that way we can follow up in a better more effective manner. So that's OUTSTAND in a nutshell. The next thing I want to do, and I'll pause for questions as well. The next thing I want to do is just show you how easy it is to create a message from scratch, because we really do focus on ease of use. So, Michelle, Linda, any questions at this point?
Nope, nothing for me.
No, me either.
Okay. So I showed you some of the messages that have been sent out in the past by myself and also by Transamerica in that presentation. Now I'll show you really quick how easy it is to create one from scratch. So you'll see all of our templates right up here at the top. And actually, let me make this a little bigger. That way you guys might be able to see it better. If you click any of these thumbnails, the editor opens up. So you'll see our two newsletter columns there. I'm going to go ahead and click email greeting. And here is the template. So it's a blank version of what I had showed you in the past. So I'll go ahead and browse the gallery. I could upload my own graphic if I wanted to, but I'll go ahead and browse. And it actually saves all of the graphics that I've uploaded in the past. But I'm just going to look into the OUTSTAND gallery and pick a thank you message. And I'll scroll through. And I think I want this smiley cup. And I'm actually going to customize this. Click Edit. And you can customize it right on the fly as well. So a lot of it doesn't need customization, but this one I really like to customize. So I'll do great speaking with you, Michelle. Michelle, is it 2 L's or 1?
Yes, that's perfect.
Perfect. All right. All right. So great speaking with you. All right. And I'm going to put that there. Make it a little smaller. That way it fits there on the side. Change the font a little bit. Maybe go with something a little more handwritten. At least looks like it's handwritten. All right, and then I'm going to change the color too as well to maybe red. So I can make that bigger if I want to, but for this sake, I'll just go ahead and click Save, and you'll see all the other editing features there if you want to get really creative. But that, as you can see, that took a matter of what, maybe 30 seconds, and now I can just type my message. Great meeting you, and I won't go into a further detail there. But then you can just highlight like you normally do, like any type of formatting options. Maybe I want to send you a link, view a recording of our webinar. So then I'll highlight view a recording, and then I'll add the link to the recording. I'll just type in youtube.com for this purpose. So it has all of the editing features that you would need, and that you guys are most likely familiar with a newsletter, but it puts it into the power of your daily communication. So with that said, I'll just add my subject line and add my recipients, which would be you two, and then I'll click send. And if I need to see what this looks like beforehand, maybe I don't want to send it, but I want to see what it looks like in my inbox. Well, I can just click send test, and there's my email address there, and I'll go ahead and send the test. Oh, I need to add a subject line. I'm sorry. I'll just put hi. Now I'll send test. And now I'll see it in my actual inbox. So as soon as it comes in, I'll be able to see it. I'll test the link, make sure it works, and I'll just be able to see it in my own inbox. That way I get a better idea of what my recipients will see. And then if I like it, I just click send. So it's that easy. Within a matter of a few minutes, I've created something that is going to stand out in that inbox much more than just your general Gmail or Outlook email. And again, as soon as I send it, I can go into my tracker and see if you guys have opened it or not. All right, I'll go ahead and pause there for questions. I do have maybe 1 or 2 other things to show you, just some cool features. But and also, Mark, if there's anything specific that you would want me to cover, we can do that as well before we end. But Michelle, Linda, any questions at this point?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's very clear, I think.
All right. I mentioned that we have that campaign feature where you can set up maybe 12 messages for a new member. That way, continually on a monthly basis, similar to probably what you do with your newsletter, but you could just pretty much set it up on a schedule. That's part of our campaigns feature. And what I'm actually going to do, this is my actual account. But I'm going to go into that Legal Shield white label. So we actually white label OUTSTAND for specific companies. That way their reps view it as a tool that their company gives them. But I'm going to go into their campaigns and just show you an example of what the membership retention campaign. So what they do, they just click Start Campaign, pick their recipients, and then their recipients get this campaign. You'll see 6 days later, 14 days later, they get the third leg. 10 days later, they get the next one. And I'll go ahead and show you what these messages look like. So about every 2 weeks, they'll get a message just like this, reminding them to download the mobile app, which makes it easier to use their system there. I'll go ahead and show you another one, a checklist, how it works, and then also the best advice that a law firm gives to use the service. So right off the bat, they're getting very good information about how to best use their membership. And it just goes on and on after that. They'll have a video, watch a short video on identity theft. Again, it reminds them the value of their membership. And again, they're going to know whether these people are opening up their messages and whether they're engaging. If you notice after 6 months they haven't been opening the messages, well, maybe you need to give them a call to make sure you have the right email address, or make sure it's going to the right email address. Maybe they stopped checking that email address. So you have that kind of power to follow up with your individuals as needed. So that's really the power of the campaigns tool. And like I said, Mark and I are working on content that will be something similar to this, a membership retention campaign. But then you saw how easy it was to create your own message. You guys can create your very own messages and as well as your campaigns and use it yourself. So again, we've designed it to be Fisher Price easy, to where if you have a marketing degree, great. But if you don't, still just as easy to use.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's about it, guys. We do try and keep it very short and sweet, and there's plenty of other small different features that we can do and go over, but I did want to kind of keep it a broad overview. That's really the power of the system there. So I guess I'll address one additional question that we do tend to get is contacts. How do we get the contacts into the system? There's a few different ways. You can import them from a CSV file, or if you house them in a Gmail or any of these here. I know we do get some questions about ChamberMaster. Do you guys happen to use ChamberMaster?
We do.
Okay. We've gotten a lot of feedback, and before our event in Canada, we didn't really know what most people tend to use for their contacts. But we've gotten a lot of feedback with ChamberMaster, so we're actually in talks with ChamberMaster, just about an easy and quick integration. That way you can sync your contacts very easily. So it'll be very similar to how this looks. Gmail, if I want to import my Gmail contacts, I click Continue, and it'll ask me which account I want to sync my contacts for. So then I'll just go ahead and click it, and then I click Allow, and that's it. And then it starts syncing. So we want to create a very easy integration like that. That way, adding your contacts is very simple. But from what I understand, exporting out in a CSV file or an Excel file is very easy, and then you just upload it right into your system. So that's how the contacts work there. So I hope you guys can just try it out. We do offer the free trial, so we really want you guys to try it out and love it before we start offering it to your members. So and Mark will explain all that to you guys, our Chamber Affinity program. So but yeah, I am your resource. If you guys need anything, feel free to bother me or bug me about anything you guys need.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right, you guys are welcome. Good meeting you, Michelle and Linda.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you too.